Today, we will talk about keiretsu. Keiretsu is a Japanese term referring to a business network made up of different companies, including manufacturers, supply chain partners, distributors, and occasionally financiers. They work together, have close relationships, and sometimes take small equity stakes in each other, all the while remaining operationally independent. Translated literally, keiretsu means headless combine. Powerful families, known as zaibatsus, once ran the majority of Japan's major industries. That all changed after World War II when the United States came in and busted up these structures. Zaibatsus were seen as monopolistic and undemocratic, reportedly buying politicians in exchange for contracts and using pricing mechanisms that exploited the poor. Faced with economic hardships after the war, Japanese companies responded by reorganizing themselves as keiretsus. Japanese corporations value having close ties with one another. Working together, rather than keeping others at arm's length, is believed to be mutually beneficial for all parties. In fact, decades after its formation, keiretsus still represent major parts of the country's economy. Keiretsu has even gone on to influence business practices in other countries, albeit in a looser form. In Japan, where companies are expected to cooperate, keiretsus are regulated by specific laws. Outside the country, the term generally refers to informal alliances between more than two organizations. In 1996, academic Jeffrey Dyer wrote in Harvard Business Review that Chrysler's teaming up with suppliers to cut the cost of manufacturing cars meant it had created an American keiretsu. Many other companies in the United States and Europe are viewed to have borrowed something from keiretsus, too. The keiretsu system is traditionally structured along a horizontal or vertical integration model. A horizontal keiretsu is characterized by an alliance of different companies from various sectors, including a bank. The bank is the centerpiece of the network and is responsible for providing the other companies with financial services. The purpose of horizontal keiretsus is to distribute goods around the world. Keiretsus seek new markets for keiretsu companies, help establish keiretsu companies in other countries, and sign contracts with other international companies that supply commodities used in Japanese industry. In contrast, a vertical keiretsu refers to manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors partnering up to cut costs and become more efficient. The automobile company Toyota is an example of a vertical keiretsu. Toyota relies on suppliers and manufacturers for parts, employees for production, real estate for dealerships, steel, plastics, and electronic suppliers for cars, and wholesalers. While these ancillary companies operate within the vertical keiretsu of Toyota, they are members of the larger horizontal keiretsu, although much lower on the organizational chart. Working closely together can bring many benefits. Companies in the keiretsu can leverage each other's expertise to become stronger and better. Information shared among customers, suppliers, and employees within the keiretsu can lead to increased efficiency. As a result of this information sharing, investment decisions can be made faster, and suppliers, employees, and customers know the purposes and goals of those investments. Forming an alliance also limits the threat of competition and makes it more difficult for its members to be subject to takeover attempts by outsiders. In addition, the reduction of costs due to dealing with intra-keiretsu firms can increase efficiency within the supply chain. However, there are also several drawbacks. Critics point out that their large size makes it difficult for keiretsus to adjust quickly to market changes and that limited competition leads to inefficient practices. Another potential issue is easy access to capital. Close relationships with a bank might encourage a company to embark on risky, debt-fueled strategies that an outside institution would probably never help to finance. In the West, companies typically have relationships with suppliers that are distinct from the keiretsu system in that they take an arm's-length approach. However, a few manufacturers in the West have engineered their own unique, hybrid sourcing programs that borrow certain elements from the keiretsu system. For example, Scania, the Swedish bus and truck maker, has tried to deepen its loyalties to its manufacturers in order to improve the company's supply chains. It has accomplished this by holding workshops for its suppliers on the Scania production system, which emphasizes continuous improvement and lean production. IKEA's approach to supplier relationships also resembles the structure of keiretsu. The company works to build committed partnerships with its suppliers based on mutual advantage, trusts its vendors with significant tasks, and collaborates with its vendors in order to maximize efficiency. Companies interested in engineering their own form of a keiretsu should keep these general principles in mind. Here are 5 key takeaways. 1. Keiretsu is a Japanese term referring to a business network made up of different companies, including manufacturers, supply chain partners, distributors, and occasionally financiers. 2. Keiretsus work together, have close relationships, and sometimes take small equity stakes in each other, all the while remaining operationally independent. 3. Keiretsus rose to prominence after World War II and the destruction of the Japanese zaibatsu. 4. A horizontal keiretsu is an alliance of different companies, led by a bank that provides them with finance. 5. A vertical keiretsu refers to manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors partnering up to cut costs and become more efficient. Hope this would help. Thanks for watching.